Have you ever wondered about the integrity of the institutions that govern our financial markets? Today, we delve into a recent event that has left many asking this very question. In the summer of last year, the Securities and Exchange Commission, or SEC, brought forth a lawsuit against a company named DebtBox. The SEC accused DebtBox of running a fraudulent cryptocurrency scheme worth $50 million while operating as a software mining license provider. The evidence presented by the SEC led to the approval of a temporary restraining order and freeze of DebtBox's assets. But here's where things get interesting. The SEC claimed that DebtBox had already sent $720,000 overseas and was planning to flee to the United Arab Emirates, transferring more assets secretly if notified of the order. This was a critical piece of evidence that convinced the court to approve the restraining order and asset freeze. Fast forward a few months to December. Judge Robert J. Shelby, presiding over the case, reviewed his initial order and found that the SEC had misrepresented evidence. The $720,000 wasn't sent overseas, but within the United States. The SEC was issued a show cause order, requiring it to justify its actions to the court. In response, the SEC admitted that its actions weren't forthcoming, but argued that a sanction wasn't appropriate. However, Judge Shelby saw things differently. He criticized the SEC for acting in bad faith and misleading the court about evidence. He said, and I quote, "The Commission's above-discussed conduct constitutes a gross abuse of the power entrusted to it by Congress and substantially undermined the integrity of these proceedings and the judicial process." Following this, Judge Shelby imposed sanctions on the SEC. He targeted SEC attorney Michael Welsh for attempting to gloss over and perpetuate the misconduct. He said, Welsh knew his statement from the TRO hearing was incorrect. Rather than correcting the misstatement, he and the Commission attempted to subtly shift the language to gloss over and perpetuate the misconduct. This ruling has stirred up conversations about the accountability of the SEC. Austin Campbell, founder of Zero Knowledge Consulting, believes that the SEC staff involved should be terminated and that the agency needs to undergo a reform. He stated, "SEC lawyers should have personal liability for such conduct, in addition to the agency itself. What is described here is unconscionable for those entrusted with such authority by law." So, to recap, the SEC brought a lawsuit against DebtBox, froze their assets, and then was found to have misrepresented evidence. This led to sanctions against the SEC and raised questions about its integrity and accountability. This case serves as a stark reminder that even those in positions of power must be held accountable for their actions. It also underscores the importance of transparency and honesty in upholding the integrity of our financial markets. As the story continues to unfold, it will be interesting to see what changes, if any, are made to prevent such incidents in the future.